Well, I am filming this video on January 13th, and it is officially the week that we will find out what the fate of TikTok will be at the end of the week. A lot of my thoughts regarding the TikTok ban are pretty sad, and as someone who is on TikTok, but it's not like my primary source of content, I do want to say that I think that this is one of the dumbest things that the government could possibly do. I do think maybe some good could come out of the ban, but more often I think it's going to be pretty negative. So I want to just get right into it because just talking about it makes me sad. I do like to make commentary videos, and a lot of my videos that I make commentary on do typically come from what I see on TikTok and what I like to criticize. And obviously I will still have content from like other platforms to use, but TikTok, it was just so easy to collect the information from for my commentary. So let's just get into everything right now. I think one of the biggest things that makes me upset about the TikTok ban is that this is going to be a financial loss and impact on many creators who do rely on TikTok as a source of income. Now, we all know if you're in the content creation space or if you're an influencer, you need to have multiple streams of revenue. You can't just rely on one platform, because what happens if one thing goes away and that was your only method of relying on it, you're screwed, right? So I do think it sucks that people are going to be losing a source of income. Now, I will say I was never monetized on TikTok. That doesn't mean anything, because just because I'm not monetized, that doesn't mean other people are. So many creators are a part of the creator program where they get paid for their videos being seen and watched, and that is going to really take a hit. And I'm not talking about the pushy, obnoxious influencers who are constantly shoving product down our face. They will be fine. I'm talking about creators who have actually shared like valuable content, like maybe such as travel creators or wellness creators, or people who share content that actually brings real value that people can enjoy. And also a lot of small businesses rely heavily on TikTok because Instagram's algorithm, as we know, is garbage, and TikTok's algorithm is much better, in my opinion, where more videos get pushed out. And it's a lot easier to get discovered on TikTok than Instagram Reels. And I don't know how Instagram has heavily impacted small businesses, but I think we all know by now, just social media in general is a huge influence on those who are entrepreneurs or own their own business. I'm a hairstylist, and I rely heavily on social media to help build clientele. While I didn't do it on TikTok, I did do it on Instagram, but that doesn't mean I wasn't going to use TikTok in the first place. I'm just still very early in my stages of my career, so that's another thing. But besides me and just talking about that, this is going to be a devastation for creators who are going to be losing a source of income. And I don't want to hear from people, oh, well, guess what? Content creation, being an influencer, it is a real job. It may not be your traditional 9-to-5 job or a trade job or a government job or whatever it is you want, what you consider to be a real job, but it still is a real job for many people. Not everybody wants to work for a corporation. Not everybody wants to work in a hospital. Not everybody wants to work for the government. Not everybody wants to work as a teacher, whatever it is. Some people just simply want to work for themselves and not worry about making money for other people. They care about making money for themselves so they can support themselves. And I will always stand by that. I will never ever laugh at somebody for losing a source of income and say, hey, you gotta get a real job now. Sucks for you. My heart is breaking for those who are going to be losing a whole audience of people where they were able to help build up their business or their platform. And hopefully all of those people who follow them on those platforms will transfer to others. But it's not always guaranteed, and that's just a really sad reality that many people are facing. Another thing that makes me sad about TikTok is that I'm going to be losing a source of enjoyment, like most people. A lot of people have found so much comfort and happiness and joy of watching TikTok compared to Reels and Shorts. And I can tell you, scrolling on TikTok has become a routine. Not saying it's like a healthy routine by any means, but I like to watch a couple videos before I get out of bed to start my day, and I also like to watch a couple TikTok videos before I go to bed. And I know I'm not the only person who does that. But it is nice that I have TikTok as a source of a daily ritual for me that I like to incorporate in my self-care routine. Now, of course, that means I'm going to have to adjust and maybe have to go to Reels or Shorts now to do that, which is annoying. It's more than just the routine, right? TikTok has brought so much enjoyment to others, and maybe some people just don't get that enjoyment that they have gotten from other platforms like Instagram or YouTube or Twitter or whatever it is that you use. But one thing that I have seen coming from TikTok users is that I've seen a lot of TikTok users complain that they don't want to go to Instagram Reels because they're always so late to the party. All the Reels that they see on their feed, they've already seen on TikTok first. And so I feel like maybe that's going to shift the focus now, where now Instagram will have everything first. But right now people are really upset with Meta and Mark Zuckerberg's recent decision on what he's done in terms of like censorship. It's a whole thing, but not everybody wants to go to Reels. Some people are really pissed off about this. I do like that TikTok has been a great way to kill time if I'm bored. And again, I'm not saying that's like the healthiest thing in the world, but for some it is healthy if that's what they need to wind back and take a breather. I don't think there's anything wrong with using it as a way to like kill some time if you need to. People find a lot of value in TikTok and the entertainment it's provided for so many people and how it's helped them. And I think that's a really positive thing. And that's going to kind of bring me into the next point that I want to make. Now, we all know TikTok has a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of brain rot, stupidity, promotion of overconsumption, micro trends that are, you know, lasting 2 seconds. But the misinformation that goes on in terms of current events, health and wellness, science, etc., there are good things on TikTok that are good information, that are educational, which is what I mentioned previously. Some people like to use TikTok as a search engine. People like to use TikTok as a way to get answers for something. I think people who watch TikTok have learned a lot of cool things that they would have never thought of. I do think that there are a lot of cool life hacks. I think that there's a lot of great things that you can learn when it comes to traveling. You can learn facts about animals. I mean, you can learn just about anything you would want on TikTok. That's how saturated the content's got, that so many people are bringing their perspective and knowledge onto the app, which I think is a beautiful thing. And the fact that it's done in such short form content, that is what helps people engage easier and not lose their attention span, because they get that information bam, 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 bam all at once. And I really like that about TikTok. And while yes, I have obviously criticized so much misinformation and a lot of stupid things that I see on the app, there are great things about the app that I do enjoy. And I'm not afraid to say, oh yeah, I learned that on TikTok. Obviously, I still take everything with a grain of salt that I see on any social media platform. I may not like to use TikTok as a way to like learn about current events, because I don't find that to be reliable, as it's saturated with bias. But when it comes to just like a hack or something like that, cool. That I find very beneficial and valuable, and I know others do find that as well. I feel like TikTok is a platform that's all about free speech. Now, I have seen more people voice their opinions in videos on Reels on Instagram. I've always felt that TikTok was more speech focused as opposed to more visual focused, and Instagram was always more visual focused. And I feel like people are going to lose a source of voicing their opinions in video format. I like watching videos on people's commentary. I watch so many commentary channels on YouTube, but I also like watching people's thoughts and feelings simply just from scrolling on TikTok that I don't necessarily really find on Instagram. So it makes me wonder if people are going to have to change Instagram to use it as the next speech platform, and how Instagram may slowly lose its whole visual aspect. as it has kind of been over the years, and how it's going to continue to lose what it was originally about. But I think this is what pisses me off. I think that the whole TikTok ban is a violation of the First Amendment in our Constitution. I, once again, think that the government should be focusing on better things. There has not been any evidence that TikTok has been a national security threat. Anyways, I don't want to get too much into that, but I really do enjoy the free speech aspect of TikTok. Even if I don't agree with something and I have to call out something, I do love that that's what the platform is about. And I feel like this is the government taking that away from us. And that really pisses me off. The last point I want to make is TikTok has changed the lives of so many creators. And there are just so many opportunities that creators have been provided by going on radio shows and podcasts, or maybe they've become an actor in a movie or on Broadway. Now, I do think that we have platformed some of the wrong people. I mean, I think the Hawk Tuah girl should have never been made famous for just saying something really stupid while she was drunk in a short interview. You know, she's one person that I think have gotten as big as she did. But, you know, here we are. But, you know, it's all thanks to TikTok, right? And TikTok has really changed some people's lives for the better. And I think that's a great thing. And I feel like if we continue to platform the right people who have really made a difference in others' lives based off what they share, you know, that makes me sad, because I feel like you don't really hear that a lot from Instagram Reels. You hear it more from TikTok. The only things that I can say that I hope that would maybe be good that comes out of this ban, and again, this is hope in the perfect world, and I'm only talking in the span of short form content here. I hope that, you know, maybe this will bring YouTube back stronger and better than ever. Clearly, I'm speaking from a bias because YouTube is my main platform where I push content, but I do want to see YouTube have stronger relevancy, so maybe that's one good thing that I'd like to see. But I also hope that maybe I see less overconsumption and brain rot, since that's kind of where most of that comes from. But, you know, let's be real, they're gonna all find a way to promote that elsewhere. But that is my hope that I see. But I also do hope that people's creation habits and behaviors will improve, and people will not be posting really stupid things out online. Because I would notice that more on TikTok than Instagram Reels. Like, one recent event that I can think of is this girl who got her makeup done for her wedding on her wedding day. She was a bride, obviously. And she decided to film herself removing her makeup because she didn't like it. And she explicitly said in her video, "I can't wait to post this to TikTok." So I'm hoping that will kind of get rid of some of that stupid behavior. Again, I'm hoping here. But it would be nice if overconsumption ended and brain rot ended. That's something that I hope I at least see less of. But again, wishful thinking here. Overall, I think this is a dumb use of the government's time. How about we better our healthcare systems? How about we make sure that children are not being unalived when they go to school? Why don't we start there? Because those issues seem to be far more worse than TikTok and worrying if the Chinese government is taking our data when we know it's not. There also hasn't even been evidence to support this. It's just a bunch of out-of-touch fuddy-duddies who literally need to retire and get out of office because they don't know how the internet fucking works today. So that's my 2 cents on how I'm feeling about the TikTok ban. Obviously, you can still catch me here and any other social media handles. I probably won't be posting on TikTok anymore, but I'm curious to know, what do you think of the TikTok ban? I'd love to hear your comments down below. And if you like this video, do make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!